Tribe, which is my community. And so that's like my Fit Tribe. I have a couple of Fit Tribes going on right now. One's a Job One crew, which is just specifically Job One. And so we just check in with them. I make sure everyone's doing okay and just answer any questions or help them and encourage them. So those are my like for real like go-tos every single day. And then I'll usually invite like 5 to however many people, depending upon my day, to join me and to join my Fit Tribe.
I probably didn't make this clear, but I want more than one person to answer each question. So if you have something to say for this one, raise your little hand or put a little heart or whatever. Morgan, let's hear it.
Hey, so I do something similar. I wake up, I read my Bible and just kind of set my mind right for the day. I usually try to work out first thing in the morning, and then I take my sweaty selfie. I check into my group, and while I'm checking in with my group, that's when I go and encourage people, and then I'll usually do that at the end of the day as well. I do that every single day, but I drink my Energize as well to keep me going. I share about it. I drink my Shaco. Sometimes I have it for breakfast. Sometimes I have it for a late night snack because I have a sweet tooth. And then I do things a little differently. I'm not someone who invites every single day. I usually am like a batch invite person. So I will like pick usually 2 days a week, and I will just go through anyone who's watching my stories on Facebook or watching them on Instagram or liking my posts. And I will just go and invite a ton of people instead of just doing like a small amount, like 5 a day, which like Erin said, that's feasible if you want to do that every single day. But for me, it works better if I just like sit down. I'm gonna sit down for like 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how many people I have, and just go through and send an invite to them. So that's what I do, non-negotiable. And then I try to listen to podcasts like when I'm doing things around the house. Lately, I'm now a stay-home mom. So when I'm like doing the dishes or picking up something, I'll try to listen to a podcast for personal development as well. So those are kind of my non-negotiables.
Love it. I also want to make it clear whenever we're talking about inviting, we're talking about inviting people to do programs with us, like what you just experienced. Like we'll send out an invite like, hey, we're starting this program next Monday. It's 20 minutes a day. Do you want to do that with us? It's as simple as that. Okay, Meg, I see you. Go for it.
I hit the button wrong. Okay. So non-negotiables, I teach full time. So what I do is I make sure that I get my workout in either before school or after school, because life happens. Nothing really happens while I'm working. So I get that done. I make sure that I share that I got my workout in, because there are people watching and making sure that I'm getting it done. And life is busy. So I try to make a point of like, I have a 1-year-old, I work full time, like I'm still showing up for 20 minutes a day for myself. From there, I share like real life. I share how I'm feeling. I share my workout. My lunchtime at work is like a non-paid time. So that is definitely when I get my phone out and I'm like answering questions or I'm talking to people on Instagram or whatever. And then after my child goes to bed at 7 o'clock, I get back on my phone for like 20 minutes and I answer more questions or I send invites. So it's definitely working in pockets of time. So.
Love it. Okay, if your hand is raised, remove it because I'm about to answer the next question. And it is, what was your biggest fear before starting coaching and how did you overcome it? Meg, I see you. Go for it.
I thought this was fake. I didn't think that this actually would work, to be completely honest. And I was at a mentally like really low point and I was like, I have nothing to lose. So if this works, great. And if it doesn't in 30 days, I'm going to get my money back. And I'm here almost 4 years later. So it's helped me overcome quite a few different things. But I really thought that this wasn't a real thing that would actually work.
I love that that's your fear that you're sharing this morning, because look at this. Like, look how many people are here. I love it so much. Tiffany.
Okay, so my couple big fears were just like Meg, like this is a scam. It's not going to work. At home workouts, like this pointless shake. But I will say, like postpartum, I've lost like 50 pounds. So, and I've been doing this for 4 years and it's transformed me physically and mentally. And I think that the mental piece is like huge. And then as far as like the shakes, because I had a friend in college that drank the shakes and I was like, I was pretty judgy about it, but it's also transformed my gut health. Like I used to have a lot of, for lack of a better, like I used to have a lot of poop problems, but now like I don't. And I honestly, I attribute that to like eating healthier and drinking the shakes. And then also judgment on social media, because like I was not a social media person. I was a let's sit back and see what everybody else is doing. And I used to be like super judgy all of the time. Like basically my biggest fear was people like me sitting back and judging me. But at the end of the day, like people are going to be watching because they're curious about what you're doing, because it works. And we have all of the tools, like each other, and then corporate like gives us a bunch of tools to help us with social media. So it's not like you have to be any kind of expert.
Kayla Brown.
Hi. So for me, my biggest fear was that nobody would resonate with me. I don't have a huge weight loss story. In fact, I really don't even have a weight loss story. And I feel like so many people in fitness and in health, that's what they're looking for. Like they want to see this big, huge transformation because they don't see the hard work that we put into transformations. And so they sometimes just view it as like a quick fix. That's what people want. And so for me, that was my biggest fear, that people would look at me and they would say, well, she doesn't understand. And so for me, my journey has nothing to do with a weight loss journey. My journey has everything to do with the weight of my mental health battles, my weight of the battling with the scale, counting calories, excessive exercise. That is what my journey has been about. And but seriously, it probably held me back for over a year before I finally was like, okay, like that, so that was my biggest fear.
Shelby.
Mine's kind of a combination of a couple of those, but one, I was like, the community was the last thing on my list for like why I wanted to join. I like saw a page post about this and I was like, I don't really need that many, or I don't need more friends. This isn't real. They don't actually like all hang out and like each other. Like they just like do this together, whatever. So that was the first thing. The second thing was, and this is what held me back for like months as I was watching Paige, but was social media, because I mean, I would post like occasionally, but I hardly was on it, even like watching. Like when I got on, I like watched Paige and then like, saw what other people were doing. That was it. Like I was hardly on at all. So that was the biggest thing for me. And the thing is when you decide to do this, like you get to take it at the speed that you want and you get to show up how you want. And that's why coaching is so amazing, because you get to like alter it to like what you want and need. So if you're someone that's like nervous about social media, same. For me, I act like I'm talking to a lot of people, but for some people, they like to just act like they're talking to one person or they're FaceTiming their friend or whatever. So just know, whatever, if you have that fear, first off, you're not alone. Second off, imagine the ripple effect that you could have by showing up on social media. Like I would know one person on this thing right now, and then all the rest of them I don't know except for because of coaching.
Love it. Annie.
Hey guys, I am sitting in my car at my daughter's soccer game, so proof that this can work from anywhere. I got my workout in before I came this morning, but my biggest fear starting this was judgment from others. I was not a big social media user. I listened a lot, but never really posted. And now I'm learning to not really love social media, but loving that I can put myself out there and share myself with the world. And the personal development has not only improved my mental health, but has enabled me to open up more with the world and not keep everything deep down inside. And I would definitely not have ever gotten to that point without coaching, because it did force me out of my comfort zone and make me try new things. So that's definitely, that was my biggest fear, but has also been my greatest accomplishment.
Kelsey.
Kind of like what everyone else said, but I just always say this, like, I feel like I was like the worst candidate for like an online health coach, like, because I hated working out and I hated social media. So, so this was definitely something I never thought I would do. But I just got to a point where I knew that if I ever started, I would stick with it, and I would stick with like my own health journey. And I needed that so bad. I was like so inconsistent. I would do well for a little bit and then I would give up, and I would get really mad at myself and really frustrated. So if I knew if I started that I'm the type of person I go all in. And so I just went all in from the beginning, even though I was terrified. Like, I was so scared. I was so scared of failing, like at my own health journey. I was so scared of social media. I was so scared of what people thought about me. But I was just like, I'm not going to let this fear like hold me back anymore. And I just did it. And I did it scared. We say that all the time, like, you just do it scared. And like, the Lord has just used it in crazy ways because I didn't let that fear hold me back. So, yeah.
Hannah.
I had every fear that everyone's mentioned, but I don't think anyone's mentioned this one, so that's why I kept my hand raised. Time, because I work at an orphanage full time, and I'm planning a wedding, and I travel every other month to help take care of my mom, and life is just really crazy. And I was like, do I actually have something, like, could I add something else to my plate right now? Am I being stupid? And yeah, that was like the first thing Jorge had told me, was like, are you seriously adding something else? And the thing that I've seen most, and I feel like this should be like a saying, but like, this is the thing that helps me do everything else. Like, this is the thing that helps me do the other things, because I wasn't taking care of myself as well as I am right now, because I just felt like, well, that's selfish. You have these kids at an orphanage, or I've been working for free for almost 3 years now. And so the fact of like, I don't know, it just was a whole mind shift for me. But not even a month into it, Jorge was like, I love who you are because of what you're doing right now. Like, you have changed, Hannah, and like, you seem more happy and joyful. And anytime I'm like grumpy, he's like, go work out, please. And so like, time was probably, besides social media, was my biggest fear, because I'm all in kind of person. And instead it has allowed me to continue balancing all the other things with this. So
Ashley.
Yeah, so I agree as well with like almost every other fear that people have mentioned. But again, I think this is one that no one has mentioned yet. I am a recovering people pleaser. And so I was really afraid of inviting friends or family and then pushing them away, or like upsetting them or hurting their feelings, or like bugging people too much. I would say there were definitely times where I was even worried about like losing the few followers I have, because I don't have a big following. And so I was like, I'm just going to lose everyone. There's no point. And then the second fear I had was the money part of it, because I was like, what if I don't make money as a coach? And then on top of that, I'm still purchasing things from Beachbody, and I'm still paying the coaching fee each month. And like, my husband and I are working on paying off debt. And so I was like, I don't have it in my budget to be paying more towards something that I'm not getting anything back. But this is only my second month, and I have made money both months. So like, I just, if you're scared for that reason, just jump in, because I think Meg said it earlier, worst case, 30 days, you get your money back. So.
Erin.
Okay, so I had a couple that were similar to other people's, but one was like definitely time. I have 4 other jobs, like real jobs, and I'm super, super busy. So, and I'm similar. I've like thrown myself into like everything and like 100%. And so I was really nervous about that. My second thing was I had already been a part of an MLM before, and I was really nervous about going into another MLM because the one that I was in was, I don't want to say toxic, but kind of toxic. And the way they were telling us to reach out was things that like I didn't personally like. And I just felt like I was being really like inauthentic, and that was really eating at me. And there was one lady in particular, which I remember her being like, just go to Target and like just start talking to women and be like, oh my gosh, I'd love to do like your makeup. I'd love to do this, blah, blah, blah for you. And just be there for hours and just start talking to people to get sales. And I was like, I'm not going to do that. That like really bothered me a lot. And so anyways, I got out of that. And then so jumping into this, I was nervous, but it has been nothing like that at all. And I just feel like I've been able to be authentic and myself, and it's just been awesome. And I'm going on almost 3 years of coaching now and building a team and just having fun with it. And then my third thing was, I've always identified myself. I'm a musician. I'm a professional violinist and teacher. And I've always identified myself pretty much as just that. And I was like, I'm not a fitness expert. I'm not a nutrition expert. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I just felt like I needed to know way more to be a coach. And that also, like, how could I go from everybody knowing me as this violinist to like, now I'm showing up on social media in my sports bras and stuff and like working out. So it was like really nerve-wracking, but it's been awesome. And I really haven't had anybody like push back. So it's been great.
Okay, one more answer for this one, Nicole. Let's hear it.
I just want to hop on because I agree with a part that Erin said. I'm a new coach. I think it's been a month now, probably reaching a month. And I was terrified to join. My coach Claire, she's been reaching out to me for like probably a year, honestly, before I said yes or even responded to her. And my biggest thing is community. And I've been a part of a fitness group. I'm an ex-athlete. When I saw this, I was just like, there's no way these girls care about my injury. There's no way these girls understand my injury. They're just gonna get me started and like leave me in the dust. And that has been the biggest story so far. I have girls checking on me daily, giving me advice, telling me like if I don't understand something at 9 p.m., I can talk to them on Marco. Like, it's been a crazy thing and I love it. And I've seen the biggest difference. I am shaking because, believe it or not, I'm very shy. So this is like, and I'm a teacher, but I just want to say, someone who's coming from an injury from college playing basketball and who's been an athlete, this is a community. And I thought I was a part of a community, but this has showed up way more for me spiritually, emotionally, and I love it.
I love that so much. Okay, one final question, quick answers, raise your hands. If you could say one thing to encourage somebody who's on the fence about coaching, what would you say? One thing. Meg, I don't know if your hand's still up or if you raised it.
Oh, I raised it. I absolutely raised it. If you're here and you're already thinking about it, you might as well just go for it at this point. Like, you've done all the work. The only thing is you just got to step into it. And like, there's nothing for you to lose at this point.
Preach. Tiffany.
Well, Meg took part of mine. Why not you? What do you have to lose?
Sarah.
Just do it. I wish I had started earlier. So thanks, Meg, for getting me going. Whoop, whoop.
Erin.
Who are the women and who are the people that need you to show up like that so that they can do it?
Hannah.
This is something to offer. Sometimes I forget that this is something people need, but I was someone who needed pulled out of depression and loneliness a year and a half ago when I even just started working out, wasn't even coaching. And this is something to offer people. And so don't think of it as selling something and you're using people. this is something that there are women out there who desperately need this freedom, and you can be giving that to them.
And I will finish up with this. My mentor asked me this before I started. She said, think about the goals you told me you have financially, with your health. If it's not through this, what's your plan? If it's not coaching, if it's not this community, how are you going to do it? And I'm not saying there's not other ways, but if you have nothing, if you're like, I don't know, this is the only thing I can think of, it is time to jump in. So that's really all we have today. Thank you so much for being here. We'll have this recorded, so if you need to rewatch it or something like that, you can. And reach out to your coach if you have more questions, or if you're like, I'm ready, let's go. If you feel it right now in your heart, like that pumping, like I need to do this, don't wait, because fear will hold you back. You get off this call, you start doing other things, Sunday rolls around, Monday rolls around, and you're going to talk yourself out of it because of fear. Don't let it happen. Send the message and let's get going together. We'll see you guys later. Have a good weekend.